All right, let's dive in today exploring this idea of, well, monk mode.
Interesting concept, isn't it?
Definitely. And it's all about, pushing yourself to really achieve some serious self-mastery.
Yeah.
And our guide for this whole thing is Victor Pride's book, Monk Mode, The Path of the Ultimate and the Key to Self-Mastery.
And what really struck me is how the book jumps right in with this comparison to like a mountain climber,
Okay.
striving for the summit,
Yeah,
giving up all those comforts, distractions, even certain foods, all for that one goal.
I see.
So that singular focus, that's the heart of monk mode right there.
So we're not talking about like actually joining a monastery here.
Right, not literally.
More about harnessing that monk-like discipline and applying it to our lives.
Exactly. Yeah, the book is very clear on that. It's about you owning your goals, whatever they are. Could be anything from
Yeah.
personal power to creative breakthroughs or even, as Victor Pride puts it, world peace.
Wow.
Monk mode is like the framework, the tool, not the destination itself.
Right. But a pretty intense framework, I gotta say.
Oh, yeah.
This 30-day program, it lays out a strict daily routine,
Uh-huh.
5 a.m. wake-up calls, daily meditation, stretching, dedicated work blocks. Like, it's regimented.
It's designed to eliminate distractions completely.
And that's where I think the potential for real change comes in, right?
Absolutely.
Think about how much of our day is just on autopilot.
Yeah.
Just reacting to notifications, scrolling endlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Monk mode, I think, offers a way to break free from that.
Yeah, to reclaim control of our attention, direct it toward what matters.
Now, the book also gets into the specifics of the routine,
Okay.
including this daily workout, and a very specific diet, like 1 meal a day,
Yeah.
heavily focused on meat.
This is what Victor Pride recommends, yeah.
Okay.
And this dietary approach, what he calls carnivorous, it aims to provide that sustained energy and mental clarity throughout the program.
Interesting.
He even argues it sharpens the senses, improves overall well-being.
Now, before anyone jumps on that meat-only diet, there's a big caveat.
Important one.
The book specifically says that anyone who's naturally skinny should not follow this 1 meal per day plan.
Yeah, reinforces the idea that monk mode is about taking control, not punishment.
Hmm.
It's about empowerment, not depriving yourself of what you need.
And speaking of taking control, the book makes a pretty bold statement.
Oh, yeah.
He says, if you're not actively in charge of your mind, someone or something else is.
Interesting.
Could be the media, advertising, even our own habits.
That raises a really interesting question for the listener then, doesn't it?
I think so.
Like, how often do we feel truly in control of our thoughts, our actions?
Hmm.
Or are we just reacting to that constant barrage of stuff around us?
Yeah.
Monk mode, with its disciplined routine, the focus on self-awareness,
Right.
it offers a path toward reclaiming that control, I think.
Again, this connects to another key concept in the book, the power of solitude.
Oh, yeah, solitude.
It argues there's this deep connection between solitude and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Even references, historical figures like Beethoven, Mozart.
They needed that space to create.
It makes you wonder if by constantly bombarding ourselves with information, distractions,
Right.
are we hindering our own creative potential?
Could be.
And monk mode, with its focus on eliminating those distractions, carving out time for focused work,
Yeah.
aims to create that space
Yeah.
for creativity to flourish.
Exactly.
Now let's dive into one of the most intriguing parts of monk mode, these 3 daily meditation sessions.
Okay.
What I find fascinating is how each one has a very specific purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Morning meditation, it's about cultivating detachment,
Yeah.
letting go of thoughts and emotions that might cloud your focus.
Right.
Afternoon meditation, it shifts to concentration and visualization,
Yeah.
honing those mental abilities.
Mm.
And then evening meditation, it helps to clear the mind,
Yeah.
preparing you for restful sleep.
I like that.
And there's this fascinating claim in the book that regular meditation can actually help regrow the frontal lobe of the brain.
Now, that's interesting. From a neuroscience perspective.
It is, right.
The frontal lobe, it's crucial for decision-making, impulse control, planning, like the command center of your brain.
Right.
And monk mode, through its emphasis on meditation, it aims to strengthen that.
Yeah.
Could have profound implications for staying focused, resisting distractions, achieving your goals.
Now, there's a concept in the book that might raise some eyebrows,
Okay.
but it's important to understand it within this whole monk mode framework, and that's brahmacharya.
Brahmacharya. Yeah, essentially it's about harnessing sexual energy.
Right.
Often misunderstood as strict celibacy, but the book, it presents a more nuanced approach.
Okay.
It's about channeling that energy, that potent energy, towards other areas of life to boost your focus, achieve your goals.
So it was less about repression and more about redirection.
Precisely, yeah, like a form of energy conservation.
Interesting.
And importantly, the book does emphasize this is optional for married people, acknowledging the importance of marital commitment. Key takeaway here is that brahmacharya is a tool for self-mastery, not a rigid rule.
Another challenging aspect of modern life that the book tackles head-on is addiction.
Addiction, yeah.
Particularly internet porn addiction.
Tough topic, but the book dives into the science,
Yeah.
explaining how that repeated exposure to stimulating content, it can hijack the brain's reward system,
Right.
leading to cravings, compulsive behaviors.
And then it goes on to explain how monk mode acts as a sort of dopamine reboot.
Right, breaking those addictive cycles, rewiring the brain to find satisfaction in healthier activities.
And for those who really want to jumpstart their monk mode journey,
Yeah.
there's this optional hard reset.
Okay.
It's a 2-day water fast at the very beginning.
2 days. Wow.
Again, the book emphasizes this is not for everyone,
Right.
especially not for those who are underweight. However, for those who can handle it,
Yeah.
it's presented as this powerful way to cleanse the body and mind.
Like a condensed weeks of benefit into just 48 hours.
So we've established monk mode is about intentional sacrifice, discipline,
Yes.
harnessing mental energy for achieving your goals.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty intense program
It is.
with a very specific routine.
But what's fascinating is it's not just about willpower, grit.
Okay.
The book, it grounds its approach in science, drawing on principles of neuroscience, nutrition, psychology,
That's key.
to create a system that, while demanding, is designed to unlock your potential in a very deliberate and effective way.
Now, imagine having that kind of focus, clarity, and energy in your own life.
Yeah.
What could you accomplish? What could you create?
That's the question the book challenges us to consider.
I don't think so.
If short-term pleasure distractions are holding us back, what's one thing, just one thing, you could sacrifice, even temporarily, to move closer to your own ultimate?
And we'll delve deeper into that question, explore more of the book's insights as we continue our deep dive.
Sounds good. That question of sacrifice, it really gets to the heart of what monk mode is all about.
Yeah.
And the book doesn't sugarcoat it.
Uh-huh.
It straight up warns you.
Okay.
Those first 2 weeks, they can be tough.
So we're talking cravings, hunger pangs, maybe even like withdrawal symptoms if you're cutting back on caffeine or sugar.
It's a lot like quitting a bad habit cold turkey. Yeah.
Right, like your body, your mind, they're used to certain patterns, certain rewards.
Right.
And when you disrupt that,
There's going to be resistance.
but the book seems to suggest that initial discomfort, it's necessary.
It is. It's like, climbing a mountain, the hardest part is the start, but the view from the top
Right.
makes it worth it.
So how do you get through those first 2 weeks?
Well, the book offers some strategies.
Okay.
It really emphasizes mindset. It's not about what you're giving up. It's about what you're gaining.
All right.
Mental clarity, more energy, the satisfaction of overcoming those urges.
So instead of feeling deprived, you're training your willpower.
Exactly. Building resilience, self-control.
Like a muscle.
Like a muscle, yeah. The more you work it, the stronger it gets.
And the book actually claims that after those 2 weeks,
Yeah.
things shift
Yeah,
dramatically.
well, you enter this state of what the book calls bliss.
Bliss, huh? Tell me more about that.
Well, it's described as this feeling of profound contentment, peace, and like this heightened awareness. Your senses sharpen, energy levels stabilize, and you experience this deeper connection with yourself, with your surroundings.
Wow.
It's almost like the world comes into focus
Yeah.
and you're just fully present.
Okay, that sounds a bit more like that mountaintop view we talked about.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it ties back to another aspect of monk mode, this emphasis on reconnecting with nature.
Nature, okay.
The book argues that our modern lives, all the digital distractions, the artificial stimulation,
Yeah, sure.
it's disconnected us from the natural world.
Makes sense. We're constantly plugged in, bombarded with information notifications.
Right. It's easy to lose sight of the simple things, like feeling the sun on your skin, the sound of wind in the trees.
So what are we talking, mandatory nature walks now? What's that look like in practice?
It's more about incorporating simple practices into your routine.
Okay.
Like the book suggests, preparing and eating your one meal outside, if you can, no distractions.
Mm.
It emphasizes mindful movement, like
Yeah.
stretching, exercising outdoors.
So it's about bringing awareness to your physical surroundings, to nature.
Yeah, appreciate its beauty, its simplicity.
It sounds like a way to slow down, tune in, recalibrate our senses.
Exactly, remind ourselves that we're part of nature, not separate from it.
In the book, it doesn't stop there.
No, it goes even further.
Okay.
Suggests something as simple as blessing your food before you eat.
Blessing your food. That sounds almost ritualistic.
It is, in a way, yeah.
So it's more than just saying grace.
Much more, the book encourages you to visualize the energy, the vitality you're receiving from the food. Connect with the source of that nourishment, whether it's an animal, a plant, the earth itself.
It's about approaching food with reverence.
Yeah, not just fuel.
It's interesting how monk mode weaves together all these elements, self-discipline, meditation, mindful eating, this connection with nature.
It's like a holistic approach to transformation.
And it's all geared towards achieving that ultimate goal, right?
Right, the one you set for yourself at the beginning.
By cultivating these practices, stripping away the distractions, mastering your mind.
You create the conditions for achieving anything.
Okay, I want to shift gears a bit.
Sure.
Talk about the role of stretching in monk mode.
Stretching.
Yeah, the book seems to really emphasize it.
It does, and it's not just about physical flexibility. It describes stretching as a form of moving meditation.
Interesting.
Bringing awareness to your body, releasing tension, cultivating a sense of fluidity, ease.
And there's a specific routine outlined in the book, right?
There is, yeah. It's called sun salutations.
Sun salutations.
It's a series of poses, stretches every part of the body, fingertips to toes.
And the book recommends doing this how often?
3 rounds of sun salutations, 3 times a day.
3 rounds, 3 times a day. That seems like a lot.
It does, but the book sees stretching as a way to undo the damage of our modern lifestyles.
Yeah.
We spend so much time sitting hunched over computers, phones.
Yes.
Our bodies get stiff, tight.
Right.
Sun salutations, they help counteract that, restore our natural range of motion, improve posture.
So it's not just about flexibility, it's about reclaiming our natural physicality.
Exactly, counteracting the negative effects of our sedentary habits.
Now, we can't talk about monk mode without addressing, well, the elephant in the room.
Celibacy.
Yeah, it's a pretty radical concept.
It is, and the book acknowledges that it approaches celibacy or brahmacharya with a lot of nuance.
Right.
It's not about shame, repression. It's about understanding that sexual energy is a powerful force.
Yeah.
And by consciously choosing to redirect that energy,
Yeah.
we can tap into this wellspring of creativity, focus, willpower.
So it's about harnessing, channeling that energy, not suppressing it.
Precisely. The book even uses this analogy of energy conservation.
Oh.
Imagine you're running a marathon.
Right.
You wouldn't waste your energy sprinting at the beginning, would you?
No.
You'd conserve it, pace yourself so you could go the distance.
So brahmacharya in monk mode is kind of like that.
Exactly.
But let's be real, for most people, celibacy is a big ask.
It is.
So how does the book address the challenges, the potential downsides of abstaining from sex for a whole month?
It's very upfront about the fact that it's a challenging practice.
Yeah.
It might not be right for everyone.
Right.
Specifically states that married people can choose to forego this aspect
Okay.
out of respect for their commitments.
That's a good point. It reinforces that monk mode is about empowerment, not rigid rules.
And it's important to remember, it's not just about physical celibacy. It's about mental celibacy, too.
Sorry.
Controlling your thoughts, especially lustful ones,
Right.
redirect that mental energy toward your goals.
So it's almost like a mental detox.
Exactly, yeah, from all the sexual imagery stimulation we're constantly bombarded with.
Reclaiming control of your attention, directing it towards things that are nourishing, uplifting.
The book argues the rewards of this are profound. Increased focus, clarity, creativity, a deep sense of inner peace.
Sounds like a powerful way to cultivate self-mastery, both internally and externally.
It is.
Now, we've covered a lot, from the routine to brahmacharya to connecting with nature.
Yeah, we have.
But there's one more element of monk mode I want to unpack.
Okay.
The monk mode dopamine reboot.
The dopamine reboot, yeah, that's a crucial part.
What is it?
It speaks to the challenges of our modern world, you know? We're
Okay.
constantly bombarded with stimuli designed to trigger our reward system, releasing dopamine, that neurochemical associated with pleasure, motivation.
And dopamine itself isn't bad.
Right.
But the problem is we've become so used to these constant hits.
Yeah, from junk food, social media, even porn.
Right.
Our brains have become desensitized.
So the monk mode dopamine reboot is designed to disrupt that cycle.
Exactly. Reset our brains, allow us to experience pleasure in healthier ways.
Like hitting the reset button on our reward system.
Exactly. And while the book acknowledges the initial stages can be tough,
Yeah.
it stresses that the rewards are worth it.
So what kind of rewards are we talking about? What can someone expect after this dopamine reboot?
The book claims increased focus, clarity, creativity, a renewed sense of joy, contentment. It even suggests you'll be less susceptible to those addictive pulls in the future.
Sounds like a pretty powerful way to reclaim control of your attention, your life.
Yeah.
But how does it actually work? Does the book go into the specifics?
It does. Essentially, it involves intentionally depriving yourself of those dopamine hits for a while, allowing your brain to recalibrate, regain sensitivity to natural sources of pleasure.
So it's like intentional deprivation.
In a way, yeah, designed to break those addictive patterns, reset the reward system.
And while it's not easy, the book offers strategies, encouragement.
It emphasizes mindset, you know,
Okay.
reminding you that this is temporary discomfort for long-term gain.
And this dopamine reboot, it's not just a one-time thing, right?
Right. The book suggests you can use this technique whenever you feel yourself getting too caught up.
Like a tool you can use to recalibrate.
Exactly.
So far, we've explored the core principles, the routine, brahmacharya, reconnecting with nature, resetting the dopamine reward system.
It's a pretty comprehensive program,
It is designed to help you achieve this higher level of self-mastery.
internally and externally, yeah.
But how does this translate into real life? What does a typical day in monk mode actually look like?
Okay, picture this.
All right.
It's 5 a.m., your alarm goes off.
Oh,
You resist hitting snooze.
that's tough.
Instead, you get out of bed, head straight to your meditation cushion.
So no coffee, no emails, no scrolling through social media.
Nope, straight into self-mastery.
Wow.
You spend the next 30 minutes in silent meditation, focusing on your breath, letting go of any thoughts, emotions that might cloud your focus.
That's early.
This morning session, it's about cultivating detachment, preparing your mind for intentional action.
And then what?
After meditation, it's time to move your body.
Okay.
Head outside if you can, begin your monk stretch routine.
This is the 3 rounds of sun salutations.
The very same, designed to stretch, invigorate every part of your body from your fingertips to your toes. It's about loosening up your muscles, increasing circulation, waking up your senses,
Addressing the mind and body,
getting ready for a focused day.
and after the monk stretch.
By 6:30 a.m., you're at your desk, ready to tackle your most important work.
Wow, that's early.
This is your first 2-hour work block.
Okay.
Eliminate distractions, channel all your energy into that one task.
No multitasking, no emails, no social media.
Just pure focused effort.
This really reflects the dopamine reboot, doesn't it?
It does. By delaying gratification, resisting those quick hits of pleasure,
Right.
you're training your brain to focus on deeper satisfaction, building willpower, cultivating self-control.
But you can't work nonstop.
Right? Of course not. The book emphasizes breaks, moving your body.
Okay.
So after that morning work block, it's time for exercise. Mid-morning workout, get the blood flowing, clear the mind.
It would be anything.
Anything you enjoy, brisk walk, weightlifting, whatever fits your schedule.
So keeping energy levels up, preventing mental fatigue,
Exactly.
and then after your workout,
Your second meditation session of the day.
the one focused on concentration and visualization.
That's the one. Honing your mental abilities, training your mind to stay focused, visualize your goals clearly.
So not just physical mental muscles, but visualization skills too.
It's all connected. Back to work, another 2-hour block.
Back to it.
The book is big on sticking to the schedule, even when you don't feel like it.
That's discipline.
It's about building those habits, consistency. That's essential for long-term success.
But what about food? When do you actually get to eat in this routine?
Well, after your second work block, it's finally time for your one and only meal.
One meal. Wow.
But even eating is approached with mindfulness and tension.
So no grabbing a quick bite.
Nope. The book encourages you to prepare and eat mindfully, preferably outside, no distractions. Take the time to bless your food, express gratitude for the nourishment.
Right.
And remember, this is your only meal, so you savor every bite, pay attention to the flavors, textures, sensations.
It's amazing how even eating becomes this practice.
It's all part of the process.
But you don't jump right back to work after, do you?
No, the book emphasizes relaxing, digesting,
Okay.
maybe go for a walk, do some gentle stretching, or just sit quietly, let your body process the food, your mind settle.
So it's not just about working hard, but working smart.
Yeah, incorporating breaks, downtime prevents burnout.
And then, after your rest,
Back to work, your final 2-hour block of the day.
3 2-hour blocks a day.
This evening session is for wrapping up loose ends, planning for tomorrow,
So you end your workday with a sense of accomplishment.
rather than feeling overwhelmed.
And then,
Your last meditation session of the day.
the one focused on clearing the mind, preparing for sleep.
Exactly. Letting go of the day's activities, quieting your mind, cultivating peace, tranquility.
And sleep is important in monk mode, right?
Crucial. A regular sleep schedule is key for maintaining energy, maximizing productivity.
So early to bed, early to rise.
Aligning your sleep with natural rhythms.
It's a complete reset, physically, mentally, emotionally.
No wonder people feel transformed after monk mode.
It's demanding, but rewarding.
It's about pushing yourself, discovering your potential.
But what about those who aren't ready for the full 30 days? Can they still benefit?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of it. It's adaptable. You can incorporate elements without overhauling your life.
For example,
Try incorporating short, focused work sessions into your day.
like mini monk mode sessions.
Exactly. Set aside 30 minutes, an hour, eliminate distractions, work on one task with full concentration.
And what about meditation, mindful eating?
Start small. Begin with 5-10 minutes of meditation each day.
Okay.
Find a quiet space. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath.
Yeah.
And for eating, try making one meal a day a mindful experience.
Put away the phone, turn off the TV.
Savor each bite. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, sensations.
It's about bringing awareness to those everyday activities,
We often rush through them mindlessly,
making conscious choices that support our well-being.
instead of just reacting to impulses, cravings.
And the more you practice these
How
principles,
natural they become.
you'll feel more focused, more energized, more in control.
Exactly.
Monk mode, it's about taking control of your life, inside and out.
Recognizing that you have the power to shape your thoughts, your actions, your destiny,
Choosing to live with intention, purpose.
rather than just drifting along.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into monk mode,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with a question. What's one thing you can do today, however small, to bring a bit of that monk mode magic into your life?
It's a great question. And remember, the path to self-mastery, it's a journey, not a destination.
Take that first step.
See where it leads you.
We've been unpacking a lot with this monk mode thing.
We have.
And it's definitely not for the faint of heart, this program.
No, it asks a lot.
It's a real commitment, choosing self-mastery over instant gratification.
It's not a passive approach to self-improvement, that's for sure.
Right.
The book, it lays out this very deliberate path, but it also recognizes that it's not one size fits all. You know?
Right.
There's room for flexibility, and it encourages you to adapt it to your own needs and goals.
So speaking of adapting, how can someone kind of incorporate these principles without going all in on the full 30 days?
Well, one of the easiest ways to start is with those focused work sessions we talked about.
Yeah, the mini monk mode.
Exactly. Try setting aside, say, 30 minutes, even an hour, where you just completely eliminate distractions.
Okay.
Close your email, silence your phone, and just dedicate that time to one task.
And what about those other practices, the meditation, the mindful eating?
Yeah, those are central to the whole monk mode philosophy.
They are.
You can integrate those gradually, too.
Okay, how?
Start with just 5 minutes of meditation a day.
9 minutes, okay.
Find a quiet space, close your eyes, focus on your breath,
Mm-hmm.
and don't get discouraged if your mind wanders,
It happens.
Just gently guide it back to the breath.
It's like any new skill.
Exactly. It takes practice.
Just get better over time.
And you can gradually increase those sessions.
What about mindful eating? What's that look like for someone not doing the one meal a day thing?
Try choosing just one meal a day to eat mindfully.
One meal, all right?
Put away your phone, turn off the TV, really savor each bite. Pay attention to the flavors, the textures, the aroma.
Like turning a meal into an experience.
Exactly.
I bet that helps with overeating too, right?
It can, when you slow down, pay attention,
Yeah.
you're more likely to tune in to your body's signals.
So even without the full intensity of monk mode,
Right.
there are ways to kind of get those benefits in a more balanced way.
Absolutely.
But for those who are ready to dive in head first,
Yeah.
what kind of long-term benefits can they expect?
Well, the book suggests, things like increased productivity, better focus, enhanced creativity,
Hmm.
greater self-discipline, reduced anxiety.
Sounds like a pretty big transformation.
It can be, but these benefits, they don't just magically appear.
Right. It takes work.
It takes consistent effort, a willingness to push yourself out of your comfort zone.
It's about embracing the whole journey.
The challenges, the growth, all of it.
That comes with really committing to self-mastery.
And the great thing about monk mode is it gives you this framework, these tools, these practices
Yeah.
you can keep using long after the 30 days are over
It's like building a foundation.
for a more intentional, fulfilling life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into monk mode,
Yeah.
I want to leave everyone with a final thought.
Okay.
We've explored the challenges, the routines, the potential benefits,
Mm,
but at its core, monk mode it's a call to action,
I like that.
It's a challenge to step outside your comfort zone, to push those limits, to discover what you're really capable of,
And it all starts with a single choice, a decision.
to prioritize self-mastery.
Even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable.
That's where the magic is, I think.
I agree. And the power of that choice and the transformation that unfolds when you truly commit to it,